Hello, Team Basecamp. Hey, let's talk about our aerobic endurance NP activations and power tempo. We're going to take a look at Lynn's workout today because she nailed it and hit everything I wanted to see in a really good workout. So I'm going to jump into the analysis and I want to stop for a second. You can see she nailed this workout. You can visually look at it and be like, bam, that's right on. Over the last 8 weeks, the first 8 weeks of this program, we're in week 8 right now. Many of you have been doing a lot of work. You've been doing the strength, you've been doing the workouts, and now you're starting to feel the benefits. You're feeling better fitness. Don't get me wrong, you're tired, right? We've been at it for a while. Rest is coming soon. We got a little more work to overreach this weekend, but you've done a fantastic job. And I love seeing the reports of people feeling better, feeling a little stronger. There's fatigue, like I said, but feeling better. So let's take a look at maybe a way that looks, because there's also some things that have been happening under the waterline that I don't think you give yourself enough credit for. Excuse me, still recovering. So in this first 8 weeks, we've really been focusing on this idea of neuromuscular manipulation, teaching you versatility at a range of cadences. We've been working on moving from everything in erg mode to incline mode, and you, the athlete, controlling your actual power and cadence and the relationship between those two. Control has been the goal. And we went from weeks ago getting questions about which should I prioritize, cadence or power, to understanding those two are the same related thing and how can we control them. So we've been doing neuromuscular versatility. We've been doing power and cadence control. We've been working on your gears of breathing. Gear 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1. And all the positive impacts that gears of breathing are having on us. And we've been working, particularly in my groups, because I've been focusing a little heavier on it, on this concept of focusing on the downstroke of our pedal, connecting our foot to the sole of your shoe and pushing forcefully down on the stroke. We're going to actually be getting into biomechanics soon. We're going to expand on that, but that stroke is really making us more powerful. We're trying to improve our ability to produce power through torque and vectoring. More on that later. So you've really had this combination of focus areas: neuromuscular versatility, power and cadence targeting. You have to make your own power and cadence and control, gears of breathing, and force pedaling. Each one of the things we tend to do in sport, particularly endurance sport, we compartmentalize these things. But the reality is they're additive, they're synergistic, they build up to be something great. And Rebecca explained it great on today's workout. It's like we're building a layer cake. The bottom layer is we're training, right? We're doing the work. The next layer is neuromuscular versatility. The next layer is cadence and power control. The next layer is breathing. The next layer is force pedaling. All these layers, your cake is getting bigger. Putting all these things together to make a really amazing cake, that's the difference. And remember this, and Namrita and I are going to talk more about this very soon. That's the difference. Fitness is just jumping on your bike every day, running erg mode, and just doing the same old resist the force and not worry about any of those things. And you could still get kind of fit. To be a performance athlete, and you're all performance athletes, you got to just, sometimes you doubt yourselves, but you're all amazing, right? To be a performance athlete, you need fitness, that's part of it, but what you really need is conditioning. Conditioning is the ability to take all these little elements and optimize them and prepare them for performance. Any athlete doing any sport has an underlying fitness. Conditioning is what makes them good at that sport. What you're learning in our cake, in our layer cake, in our synergistic, in our additive layer cake, is you're learning to put these things together more than you're giving yourself credit for. And I know we've got a tough challenge coming in. You're going to have to climb the Alpe d'Huez. You're already tired. So celebrate this now, because Saturday's going to hurt a little and whatever, but celebrate it now. And I'm going to show you an example, a simple power review. Lynn, you rock. I so appreciate you, and I know you've embraced this program and you're working hard to make it work. Here's what I love seeing, a little different direction for everybody. You can see, right? She nailed this workout. So I'm going to hide the blue boxes. Did she do the cadence work? Let's look at cadence. Yes. we were doing, I didn't do the sit stand like Nimrita built the workout preview. I forgot, to be honest with you, and I panicked the last moment, so I did the best I could. You're stuck with me. But we did do the higher cadence targeting. You could see her, she delivers the higher cadence. She drops cadence as she settles in, then she drops into her low cadence tempo. Recovery, high cadence start, drops cadence as she settles in, then settles into low cadence. Look at what you're seeing here in cadence. Neuromuscular versatility. Remember her power range when I talked about that 5 weeks ago? It's expanding. She's making, look how smooth the power is here. You don't see a transition of power from this higher cadence to this lower cadence. She's controlling power and cadence and the relationship through neuromuscular versatility, and she's getting good at it. Great work, Lynn. Now, we're also working on this push down force. She's doing, I can see she's producing only 60 RPM and tempo force. So I know she's pushing down, right? The difference of professional pedalers, you hear all this smooth circle bullshit and other stuff and whatever, and that is important. I shouldn't say it that way. But at the end of the day, the simple answer, and remember, the important things are always simple, is pro athletes put out more power because they push down and down. That's vectoring in the right direction. They push down harder than normal cyclists. And you're working on that. So you can see this control, her ability to do it. Lynn is doing all of these things at one time. And we were working on breathing. So let's see what's happening with her breathing. Yep. Her heart rate spikes just after the 2-minute hard start and the higher cadence effort. But if I was to pick that at the end of the cadence effort, she has this little blip here, so it's really not fair. I'll click here. You can see her heart rate settles in a very fast amount of time. It's not really fair. Maybe I can get a better grip of it here. Maybe there. About under 2 minutes. And she just settles in. She doesn't have to rest. She drops a little bit here. We always do, right? Because you got to get in front of the incline mode. She's making this power an incline too. I want to go back to say that. This is what most of you, the athlete, this is what your erg mode used to look like. Now Lynn is making that power. She's learning control. She isn't ceding control to the computer and saying, hey, make the power for me or make me do it right. You're doing it right, Lynn. So you're having your cake and eating it too. You are building this amazing cake of, and this cake sits on fitness, but you're building your conditioning layer cake, and it's going to show in your performance. Now I want to show you something, and everybody else can do the same exercise. Maybe it'll be good, maybe not. Everybody in this extra week of this cycle is very fatigued. So your numbers might be a little erratic, but keep overreaching. We're going to get a longer rest, and the second half of the program, we're going to take off. But if I just drag a section here, I want everybody to remember this. I am going to write it down so I don't forget. She was doing her tempo at 128 watts at 119 beats. Probably breathing in gear 1, gear 2, gear 1, gear 2. A little bit of mix both. She was making good force pedaling. She was very low cadence. Everything was working well. Good job. Now I'm going to save and close this. The greatest indicator for future performance is to look at past performance. Like I could give you a whole bunch of fancy metrics and physiological metrics and this and that, but where you were, where you are is indicative of where you're going. So if I scroll back looking at this power tempo, I can go back just a couple of weeks, 2 weeks, back to, so everybody else can find it, the 7th. Great job turning everything green, by the way. And I open that workout and I dig in. This is the same workout, same exact workout, but the tempo was shorter. I think 2 to 4 minutes shorter. So if I grab this first interval and I'll take it right from there, and I just show that amount of time, not only is it only 15 minutes, and we did 18 today. So she did 3 more minutes. She did 114 watts for 122 beats. You were 14 watts stronger, and you were 3 beats lower. So 14 watts stronger, huge increase. That's more than 10%. And 3 beats better. Now, you were working on these things now. Your heart rate looks a little more erratic. When I look at the cadence, You weren't as good at the high cadence, nor could you go as low. Everybody, take a look. And you might make, improvement doesn't come in some linear line. I already see people gearing up to be hard on themselves in the upcoming challenge. You're so judgmental. Don't judge yourself so hard. It's like, embrace all this stuff. It's fun, and you're growing and you're conditioning. This type of change, this is fantastic. This is amazing improvement going on as you're not only training to get fitness, you're mastering all the skills of performance and conditioning, and you're building that layer cake. Keep building. Build, practice these little things we're working on until they just become things you do every day, which, when I look at this versus this, that's exactly what I see happening. Look how much smoother. Control. You're building that conditioning layer cake. You're mastering these skills all at once. That's a true athlete. Awesome work. Great job. Keep up the good work.